bear lovers of the world. It's Rod here at Alawang Prabang Wildlife Sanctuary in Laos. And this is our first ever YouTube live, so excuse the zooms and jitters, it's all a bit strange. I'm not used to this. And here we are with a bear, sun bear, two sun bears, the world's smallest bear species. Two rescued sun bears. They were both rescued from the illegal wildlife trade in Laos. Their mothers would have been killed by poachers, and then they were sold as cubs into the illegal trade, and then rescued in collaboration with our government partners from the Lao government, our Department of Forestry, and brought to our sanctuary here to be given a second chance at life. And little Merry Christmas on the left here. It's late afternoon here in Laos, so everyone's getting ready for bed. So Mary was the subject, one of the main subjects of a BBC documentary or docu-series called Bears About the House that was filmed throughout 2019 here at our sanctuary in Laos. And it was a beautiful 2-hour docu-series focused on Mary's rescue and rehabilitation, but also the work we are doing here at the sanctuary in Laos, because we're rescuing so many bears here in Laos with our government partners that we've had to start this new sanctuary that opened in the end of 2017, and we've been frantically building ever since. And so we've now built 7 bear houses. We have almost 90 rescued bears here, of which there are 5 sun bears and the rest are moon bears or Asiatic black bears. And because these bears were all taken from the wild as cubs after their mothers were killed, they don't stand much of a chance of going back to the wild. They didn't learn survival skills. They're used to humans, which makes them poor release candidates. And there's a lack of safe and protected forest. So we have to give them the best life we can here at our sanctuary, because we may need to care for them for life, which can be 30 years or more. And so they have these lovely habitats full of climbing platforms and caves and hammocks in a wonderful environment, and of course lots of natural foliage for them to do, and trees and forests for them to exhibit their natural behaviours. So lots of digging and foraging, and healthy diets and expert vet care, and daily enrichments to stimulate their complex minds, because they're very intelligent creatures, the bears, and friends to play with. And so what we end up with is very, very healthy, happy, calm, relaxed bears that are able to exhibit natural behaviours. And as you can see, they're look pretty good, pretty beautiful, right? Pretty healthy looking. So this bear, he's known by his rescue number, which is I think 106, rescue number 106 for us in Laos. It's a boy and Mary's a girl. So normally we don't have boys and girls together, but because he's just juvenile, he's not yet able to mate. We don't want to have cubs because we're rescuing so any bears or pregnancies. Bears are getting, we have so many rescues coming in that we're struggling to cope with that because we're just a small non-profit charity. But when they're young like this and they can't yet breed, it's okay to have the boys and girls together. In a year or so, he'll have to be separated from the girls. And we constantly, of course, monitor the bears to see if there's any sort of stress behaviours, but the bears have a pretty good life here at our sanctuaries. I'd say it's kind of like holiday health camp. So we have some very happy bears and healthy bears. So it's late afternoon, as I said, they're on their way to sleep. It's getting dark quite quickly, actually. I just thought you might like to see these 2 beautiful bears and see just the results of your support of our small non-profit charity from the horrific circumstances they came from to these really healthy, happy, calm bears. Mary couldn't look happier. So sun bears are an incredible species, the world's smallest bear species. They're also the world's most arboreal bear species, which means they spend more time in trees than any other bear. So they love their climbing platforms. So this is a special enclosure or habitat where we have lots of aerial walkways and climbing structures for them to stay off the ground and explore, because that's what they like to do. They're also the world's least known bear species. They're sometimes called the forgotten bear species because so little is known about them in the wild. They're the least researched of all the bears. They live in the tropical forests of lowland forests of 13 countries across Southeast Asia. And they're an endangered species. Their numbers are declining in the wild. Each sun bear has a golden U-shaped chest marking. Normally a U, but in the case of Mary, who we're looking at, her U connects at the top, so she has a full circle, which is very unusual and very beautiful. She also has some blonde hair on her face, you can see. They're also known as the dog bear or honey bear in different cultures because they love honey. And dog bear because I guess they look a bit like a dog, like a Doberman or a Rottweiler when they're walking along. They have really interesting evolutionary adaptations, huge claws, and also huge canine teeth. So their teeth are the same size, the canine teeth, as a polar bear. And a male polar bear is 500 kilos plus, but an adult sun bear is only 50 kilos, so a tenth the size of a polar bear, but their canine teeth are the same size. And you use those teeth and that really wide jaw, which has a massive bite pressure, to tear open logs and dig and destroy. So they do a lot of digging in the forest. They're known as a keystone species. They have a really vital and important role in the forest as doctor, farmer, and engineer of the forest. So doctor, they eat a lot of bugs and termites. They're omnivores, so they eat fruit mostly, but also bugs, termites, and of course wild honey they love. And so termites and some other bugs can cause damage to the forest and trees, so that's why they help the forest. They're known as a farmer of the forest because their diet is mostly fruit, so they eat a lot of seeds and spread those throughout the forest and help the forest to grow new trees. And also an engineer of the forest because they tear up and dig and mix fertile and infertile soil, so that's a farming exercise. They create pathways. They're in trees so much and they remove a lot of branches, so they open up the canopy. They also excavate holes in trees and the forest for other animals such as hornbills and squirrels. So they're really vital keystone species, a vital part of the forest, and it's really awful that the forest is losing the sun bears rapidly. So our job at Free the Bears is to rescue bears from suffering in tiny cages and bear farms and give them a second chance to live a life, so free them from those little cages. But I'm doing a bit of yoga, sun bear yoga. But we also do as much research as we can on wild bear populations for sun bears and moon bears, the two species we look after, to try and protect wild bear populations and ensure that these two beautiful species don't go extinct in the wild. So this is my first ever YouTube live. I'm not sure if you can ask questions or there's chats or anything. Oops, sorry. Press the wrong button to see, but clearly not. So I guess I don't need to look out for questions. We do Facebook and Instagram lives as well, and quite often have some questions. They're both kicking back, ready to sleep the night away. So the bears here have a choice. They have beautiful bear houses as well, and they have a choice. They can sleep indoors and outdoors, and that choice also adds to their quality of life, to give them control of their choices and where they go. And both sun bears and moon bears are solitary in the wild, so we don't have that luxury. We're rescuing so many bears, so we have to form groups, and it's a bit of an art because every personality is different. But we're experts at it because we've been doing it for 28 years and we have hundreds of rescue bears in our care. So we just have to find personalities that match, and the bears get a lot of value out of each other. In fact, these two are in love with each other, constant play, and very rarely let each other out of their sight. So it's lovely to see the friendships that develop. I'm going to leave it there as my first ever YouTube live. I don't know why the zoom in, zoom out is a bit jumpy, but anyway, I don't think it worries anyone too much. Thank you so much to everyone who is a bear carer and cares about these beautiful species, intelligent animals, vital species to the forest. And thank you to everyone who supports Free the Bears. And if you don't, please consider being a bear carer. It's just a small monthly donation. We're not a large charity. We very much rely on the small donations that come in from everyone each month as a bear carer. And it's only these that allow us to continue to rescue and care for beautiful sun bears and moon bears. And we're not a big charity. Your donations come directly to the sanctuaries here in Cambodia, here in Laos, and our sanctuaries in Cambodia and Vietnam. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Be a bear carer, and hopefully that was a successful first ever YouTube live. How to end it. Thank you for joining. Bye bye.